Hello everyone, this is MP. So this is our 9th video in VB scripting tutorial, and in this video I will talk about the Excel object. And previous video we have seen we were talking about the file object, and in this one we will just play with the Excel object. We will see how we can create the Excel object, how we can work with Excel to read the data and to write the data, and how we can make a different sheets, and what is the difference between sheet and workbook in the Excel. So let's get started. So firstly we have to, this is a Excel obj, or we can say obj Excel equals to create the object, which is inbuilt method, and here we have to give a class name, which is Excel dot application. Okay, close the brackets, and now we created the object. So what we gonna do, we will just, we have to set, and then we will have methods for the Excel application object class. We can access the methods of the Excel application class. So now we can add a workbook dot workbooks. We will add, and then in the other one, then we will again call the object Excel dot, and we gonna activate the workbook. Why is not coming up, man? Activate workbook. Okay, and then we will save as. Okay, here we can give a path. We don't need to give parentheses. So here we can give path where we want to save. So in my case the path is this one, and then we have to give a appropriate name, mp.xlsx. so this is the extension for this one Excel sheet, and then now at this point we save it as, and then we will say object Excel dot, what happened here, object Excel dot quit. So we need to kill the object now, or close the object or Excel application, otherwise it will remain open and it will not let us do anything if we will let it open. So set object Excel it's nothing. Okay, so now let's run the script, and if you run it and you see it created a Excel file which is MP. Okay, let's delete this. So as you have seen, like this, it has been done by invisibly. So what we can see, we can add another function here, object Excel dot visible equals to true to make it visible. So now you will see just a flash. It just created the Excel sheet. Okay, let's run it. You see, you have just seen a flash. Before that you haven't seen anything. So now all the operations are visible. Otherwise you can also you can put like visible equals to false, then it will do everything silently. So this is the one way of doing that. Okay guys, so this is how you create the Excel workbook. If you see inside, let's see how okay, so this looks like this, the normal worksheet. Alright, so let's move forward and write in the workbook. So I will be just put it like that. So now this is the second portion. Write into the worksheet. So guys, in Excel language, if you see, so this sheet is a different entity and this whole workbook is a different. So one workbook can contain like many sheets as much as you want, but if you see, the sheet is different and workbook is different. Okay, so if you delete, so it says workbook. See what it's saying? A workbook must contain at least one visible worksheet. So workbook is a different thing and worksheet is a different thing. Okay, you can also change the name of your sheet. You can say it MP. Okay, all right, let's close it. So same way, copy these two. Let's copy everything. Here and here, instead of, let me make it. Okay, so we gonna, instead of add, we gonna open it. So we will say open, and then we have to give a file path, so which is this one. In quotes, and what we gonna see, so now we don't have to save as, we will say just save, and we don't need to give a file path where, because we already opening this. Okay, so what we have to do here, we have to add the data dot worksheet and which worksheet we have to give. So here we have to give a pass the argument which is 1. So here you can also give a name, I guess, and then you can, here we are giving just a first worksheet which we have to pass. Okay, then the cell one and 1, the value should be MP expert. Okay, here we are saving and then we are quitting, and that's it. All right, let's run it. Okay, it opened it, and then let's open the workbook to see. All right, so here we have the value. So we successfully enter the value in the field. So guys, if we see here, what is meaning by this 1 and 1 is the first column and first row. Okay, so here the first column, which is A, and first row, which is 1. And what is this one? First column, oh sorry, second column, first row. So let's check out, like, by giving different combination, permutation, how it will react. Okay, so here we're gonna say 2 1, and then copy like 3 1. This is called 1 2 3. Okay, save it and then run it. Okay, so it is done. Let's see what it put here. All right, so 1, the first value is reflecting the rows and the second value is reflecting the column. Okay, so as you know, we put the value 1 in the first row, first column, second row, second row, first column, and third row and first column. So similarly, let's try another way around. So let's copy this and paste this. So now we're gonna change the column. Okay, 2 2 2. So we will putting the same value but in a second column. Okay, so let's run this. Okay, so look like it completed its operation. So as you can see, it is perfectly done its job. So our object is working very correctly. So this is how you can do the operation, and there are a lot more method which you can learn, and you can do the practice, like add another sheet and add this and add that. So you can basically practice these different kind of methods which are available. See, you can also give a different color to your cells and all that stuff. So all the Excel things which you want to do, you can do with the Excel class which is available in the VB scripting. Alright guys, so here now we know how to write into the worksheet, and now we're gonna know how to read from worksheet. So similarly, we create the object. Here we open it. So firstly, to read the data, we need a data range. So we need to know, like, what is the range where our data is existing. In order to do that, we need a row count, so that we know that where our data is existing. Okay, all right, so here we are opening our worksheet. So let's make a variable row count equals to object excel dot active workbook and then we have to input the workbook dot sheets, and we have to define which sheet it is. One dot, so now we don't have any context help, so we'll say used range. This syntax you need to remember, or you can just Google it. Okay, count, and then let's see if it's giving the row count. Save it, and now we have a 3 rows, right? So let's close this and then run the script and see. Okay, so these are 3 rows, so it is working correctly. So now we have to make a for loop to read the data. So let's put for loop here. For I equals to 1 to row count, so it will go up to row count, and then we have to close it next. And here what we're gonna do, we're gonna just show it in a message box. Our data. Okay guys, so this one we don't need it to save because we are not writing anything. And so what we gonna do here, now we have to pass the for loop I equals to 1, and it will go up to the row count, and then here next. And what we gonna do, we have to pass the value. Here we gonna say well equals to our same object excel dot active workbook, and then we have to say sheets, which is 1, and then we have to tell a range. Here we gonna pass the column value, column name, and we will say here value. Okay, so here I'm passing the value of, it will give us the value of this one first. Let's check it out, the value of this one. Let's disable this for loop because right now we don't need it. So let's check it out. Message box well. Okay, so it is giving our first value MP expert. Okay, so alright guys, but for the different cells we need to change here a little bit. So instead of range we can use a cell method, sheet dot cells. So in the cells method we can pass, like we need a first row first column value. We save it and see if it is working for that. Okay, it is working. So let's do that for, or maybe let's try to put it in a loop and do that for the other ones as well. So let's change the, here this is the row count, right? So here we can pass the row count, or we have to pass the value of I because that is our row count. Okay, let's run the script. Okay, MP expert 1, 2, 3, and that's it. So similarly, if we're gonna give here a second column, it will do the same. 1, 2, 3, and that's it. So this is how we can get the value, guys. So we can also put the another loop for the columns, and we can also get the columns count as well. So the way we get the count, we can get it for the column count. Here we will see UMNS columns count. Okay, so what we can see here, so firstly we're gonna pass the row value, and when we will say okay, if the row value is here, we're gonna see the column count. So if we have the first row will run, and then we will say the column count. Or firstly we can also run the however you want. So what we can do, we will have a column count, and then here we can pass the column count, and then row count we can pass under that, and then we have to pass the another loop, and next. So the message value we will give here. So this is, let's change the variable j equals to row count. Now row count is j and column count is 1. Okay, so let's do some changes so that we know. Oh, maybe I already opened it. Okay, so let's make the changes like 1, 1, 2, 3. So our second column value should reflect differently. Okay, so what it will do, firstly it will run the column loop, and then it will go run that 3 rows, and then when it exits, then it will go to the second column and loop the other 3 rows. Okay, so let's run it. So MP expert 1, MP expert 2, so it is the first column it is running, 3, and now it goes to the second column. All right guys, so see, this is working. So this is how we can get the values or read the values from the Excel file, so we can use our Excel file as our parameterization. So this is very simple, and in our UFT series we're gonna see how we can make use of this method if we have a test data in the Excel sheet. So stay tuned guys, thank you very much. I'll come with another video. Bye bye.